Grealish's £100 million Manchester City move, is he better than Bruno Fernandes? In this video I will be doing an in-depth statistical analysis of how Jack Grealish compares to Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes, and I will also try to put out a separate video on how Grealish could be deployed by Pep Guardiola, but in this video I just want to analyse Grealish in isolation, rather than the specifics of how he fits into Manchester City's system. But before that, for cheap good quality football jerseys including next season's shirts and retro shirts as well as tracksuits, go over to www.jerseyfever.com, a link will be left in the description, and use code ATLANTISFOOTBALL for 5% off. So it appears that Manchester City seem likely to complete a £100 million deal to bring Jack Grealish to the Etihad Stadium after the Euros are completed. Now whilst the move for Grealish by Manchester City doesn't surprise me, the fee of £100 million is definitely a surprise. Grealish is 25 and has 4 years left on his contract, which expires in 2025, so Villa aren't exactly in a vulnerable position and don't really need to sell him. However, prior to this I still expected the fee to be around £60 to £70 million, particularly with Manchester City involved, who rarely sign players for above the £70 million mark. So is this a good signing? Well, in short, the answer is yes. Grealish is without doubt one of the best attacking creators in Europe right now, and when we look at the statistics behind his 2020-2021 season we can see this clearly. So in terms of chance creation, Grealish is phenomenal. In the Premier League he has recorded an expected assist rate of 0.38 per 90 minutes, the second highest behind only Kevin De Bruyne, who recorded 0.49 per 90, and Bruno Fernandes recorded an expected assist rate of 0.33 per 90, ranking in 4th place. In regards to key passes, he also sits second behind Kevin De Bruyne, recording 3.3 per 90 minutes, with Fernandes in 4th again with 2.7 key passes per 90. When we also look at Grealish in comparison to the elite creators in Europe's top 5 leagues, he stands out as well, creating the 6th most shot creating actions in Europe with 6.18 per 90, with De Bruyne in 3rd with 6.40 per 90, and Bruno Fernandes significantly further back in 20th with 4.88 per 90. If you want to narrow down the statistics even further to just goal creating actions, which should give a better measure of how involved each player is in actually changing the game, we can see that De Bruyne sits in 13th when compared to every other player in Europe's top 5 leagues with 0.86 per 90, which also happens to be exactly the same as Jack Grealish, whereas Fernandes sits lower down in 23rd with 0.78 per 90. So we have a pretty defined outline that shows that Grealish is the superior chance creator compared to Bruno Fernandes, and is statistically the second best in the Premier League behind Kevin De Bruyne. But Grealish's skill set is not solely just about creating chances in the final third, he also offers significant ball progression qualities as well. He is a fantastic close control dribbler, which allows him to pick up the ball in deep areas and drift past opposition players at will, using his fluid body posture and quick feet. We can see this as he completes 2.7 dribbles per 90, the 6th most in the Premier League this season, showing just how good he is when it comes to advancing the play up the pitch with the ball at his feet. This is one area where I think Grealish is actually far better than both De Bruyne and Fernandes, as De Bruyne completes 2.2 dribbles per 90 minutes this season, with Fernandes completing just 0.7 dribbles per 90. The dribbling metric really shows a difference in styles between the three players. Grealish is similar to Kevin De Bruyne in the sense that he's much more of a mezzala or a wide playmaker than Bruno Fernandes is. In a mezzala role, Grealish can start centrally, either as a 3-8 in a 4-3-3, or as a centrally advanced midfielder ahead of a double pivot, where he's given the freedom to drift over to the left side, from where he can look to receive the ball, stand up the opposition players, and either exchange quick passes down that left channel to quickly advance the attack, or use his dribbling ability to push the play into the opposition's box, from where he can either look to create a chance or release a shot. Goal scoring is the one area where I do think that both De Bruyne and Fernandes are superior to Grealish. Fernandes is probably the best out of the three in terms of getting into goal scoring positions by making late runs into the box and then having the composure and striking ability to finish the opportunity. De Bruyne is one of the best, if not the best, long range shooter in the Premier League. He is able to get the ball out of his feet and get a shot away, either driven with power or slotted with the inside of his foot past the keeper. Grealish does have these same attributes to a degree, but right now he doesn't get into these positions consistently enough to take advantage of them like the other two do. A good example of Grealish's long-range shooting ability was against Manchester United in 2019-2020, when he shifted the ball from the left side and curled the ball into the top far corner. The metrics also back up my assessment. If we look at this season, we can see that in terms of non-penalty XG per 90, De Bruyne ranks highest with 0.35, Fernandes in second with 0.24, and Grealish in third with 0.21, which does show the difference in chances each player is getting, though obviously the sides each player plays for does have a lot to do do with this. Despite this, Fernandes has scored the most non-penalty goals this season with 9, overperforming his non-penalty XG by 0.59 goals, with Grealish in second with 6 non-penalty goals, an overperformance of 0.81 goals. And surprisingly, De Bruyne is in third, underperforming his non-penalty XG by a significant 3.70 goals, scoring just 4 non-penalty goals this season. However, this does seem to be an anomaly, as in the 2019-2020 season, De Bruyne scored 12 non-penalty goals from a non-penalty XG of 6.58, overperforming it by 5.42 goals, so we can see De Bruyne's goal scoring ability over a longer period of time. So overall, I do think that De Bruyne is very much the best out of the three and is the best advanced creator in Europe other than Lionel Messi and Neymar. I do think that Grealish is a better player than Fernandes, mainly due to his chance creating and ball progressing abilities, and I think that if Grealish does sign for City, we will see him next season hitting double figures for his non-penalty XG and his non-penalty goals, which will firmly cement him as one of the best players in Europe in the minds of fans and the mainstream media. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, give the video a like, follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more content, and go to the description to check out some of my other videos as well.